Hello, you're watching Geo-Political TV, I'm Ben Jones. Alongside me to discuss the impact of a plummeting Russian ruble is Mikhail from Oxford Economics. So Mikhail, I'd like to begin by discussing the fact that the Russian ruble has been sent sharply lower by the markets. What impact does this have on Russia, and can any policies be implemented to combat this?
The most obvious impact is obviously high inflation, and next year, and given that the nominal wages are not going to grow very fast, you would probably see it will be a drag on consumption next year. There are also some positive impacts. For example, fiscal position of the Russian Federation improves. Even though oil prices fall and Russia receives 50% of its oil revenues from oil, weaker ruble increases the revenues in rubles. And also in the longer term, weaker ruble makes Russia more competitive and might allow it to diversify away from oil and gas sector to manufacturing. But some further structural reforms will be needed in this case.
Now, do you think capital flight will continue from Russia?
I would divide capital flight into two. First, we have a structural capital flight because of the high level of corruption, because of the weak property rights. People just prefer to keep their money abroad. So this will definitely not stop in the short term, and it will require significant structural reforms to stop it. On the other hand, we have change of behavior of the Russian Central Bank. We have speculators who try to profit from weaker ruble, and we have population converting their ruble savings into foreign currencies. And the Central Bank of Russia can't stop this capital flight if it intervenes in the foreign exchange market, if it helps the ruble to strengthen, and this will obviously feed into expectations of further devaluation, and this capital flight should stop.
And finally, there's a GDP release for Russia tomorrow. The figure currently stands at 0.8% on an annual basis. However, many expect it to fall much lower than that. What are you expecting from this release?
Well, we expect GDP to expand by 0.7% in Q3. It's slightly less than a consensus, but the thing is, whatever the number, the story for Russia doesn't change. Growth in Russia is very disappointing and sluggish, especially taking into account that it's a relatively poor country by Western standards. Russia requires significant structural reforms to continue growing, and also it badly needs to improve its relationship with major Western countries, and it needs foreign investment to grow. Without that, growth will disappoint not only in this quarter but in coming years as well.
Mikhail, thank you very much for joining me on the line today. That's all we have time for now. We've got plenty more updates and exclusive interviews for you though for the rest of the week, so make sure you keep clicking back.